Everyone, great to see you Monday morning. All right, quick quiz for those of you that participated in last year's Summer Academy. What does the white shirt mean? Do you remember? We only talked about it every day. If you weren't in last year's Summer Academy, you need to find out from one of your classmates what the white shirt means. When I put it on today, I promise you I had thoughts go through my head, and I bet you had thoughts going through your head when the video popped on. You're like, there's that white shirt. Anyway, if you want to text me what the white shirt means, I'll be looking for those texts this afternoon. That could be a lot of fun. Okay, let's look at our new core subject this week. Science is your core subject, and it's a change, obviously, from our lit and comp. Mr. Schramm has done an incredible job of putting a great week together for you. It's been fun to see you in your live Zooms today. If you have science tutoring needs throughout the week, we do have a tutor. Most of you know Dane, and he is our tutor, and he is available before 2 o'clock every day, and you do need to set that appointment up. So make sure you remember that. This week in our science classes, as you were told today in those live Zooms, and it's, I think, in your syllabus as well, that your schedule is different this week. So you had a live Zoom today, you'll have a live Zoom on Wednesday. Tuesday and Thursday are your recorded Zoom classes. And then Friday, you have a lab day. So that was clearly laid out for you today. We'll talk about that each day. But I look forward to a great science week. Mr. Schramm is great. He's creative. He's engaging. He makes the subject come alive. So I hope you put your whole heart into that. Spanish as well. That's one of our subjects that's carrying on all 4 weeks. I did see today that you have homework number 4 that is due tomorrow by noon. Make sure you're on top of that if you're in Spanish. Also, we have Allison, who is our Spanish tutor. Make sure if you need help in that, you reach out to us. We'll get you her contact, and you can set up an appointment with her as well. Your seminar classes with Harley and your work study with Mariah, those continue. They are week to week as well. Did get a little input that some of you need to get caught up on some of those projects. So please participate in that, get caught back up, communicate if you're having difficulties. We are doing good at that, but we want to maintain that as we go through the remaining part of Summer Academy. So those classes also continue this week. Your seminar class will get moved to Friday for your live Zoom because of the transition with science. Okay, this week I'm going to give you 5 quotes. Today's quote number 1, all of them have to do with winning. What I want to do, though, is I want to try and put a collective thought behind this. A lot of the things that we've talked about so far were my ideas, kind of my wordings, but it's always fun. You feel a little more empowered when you begin to get the idea that there's other people thinking and saying the same things. And so I want to give you 5 different quotes from 5 randomly different sources to let you know, yes, these are thoughts we're embracing, but these are thoughts that others are embracing and have been speaking about over time as well. So here's our quote for today. While there is no definitive formula for winning, there is a deliberate mindset, a confidence, and an emotional strength. One must believe they are a champion as they become one. And that is, we've been talking about that process. We've been talking about that mindset that is just kind of in everything there are wins. And even in losses, if I look at it intently, I can find a win. We talked about the idea of confidence and that is an earned thing, and you put in the work to earn that confidence. All of these things are ideas that we've kind of been addressing. This is this person's way of quoting much of what we've been saying, and I'll throw that at you today. If you want to write that down, you might have to pause it, rewind it a little bit to get that quote. But we'll look at another quote tomorrow and one each day this week. I hope you have a great Monday. We're off to a good start. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Happy Monday. Hopefully you've noticed by now that you have new faces in your brown paper sack. If you haven't noticed that, we have a major problem. But it's Monday. Yay. Before I get into the happy things, I need to wear this face. Some of you just haven't really turned in your assignments yet. I know that you may not, in your mind, take seminar class or work study as seriously as you took your composition and literature class, but they're just as important. The work study, financially, it's actually a lot more important, but some of you are missing some assignments, and I know some of you have communicated ahead of time, like, hey, I have a huge work schedule. I've had to work 3 shifts in a row and I don't have time, but I'm going to get it in. I love it when students communicate like that. Others of you have just left me looking like this. And sometimes like this. Because I don't know where you're doing or what's going on or why your homework isn't done. So please, 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 please make me look like this. And this, and this, and more appropriately this, because that's my actual face. And I just need your work done. Ta-da! The rest of you, though, there's only a handful of you who still haven't turned in assignments, and you're not in trouble. It's more so just a concern, because I recognize that this is really hard. It's hard to do school from a distance. This definitely isn't fun for us either, trust me. But so much about this summer is about personal responsibility, to be quite honest, and making sure that you plan your stuff and you communicate. Some of you have had some really major obstacles and you've pushed through that and communicated with, like, your phone's broken or if your Wi-Fi isn't working. All of that we understand, and I think you've hopefully been received by a lot of grace and understanding from the Upward Bound staff, but we have to know ahead of time. So for those of you who've been really good about communicating, keep it up. For those of you who aren't, it's the 3rd week, and some of you haven't even turned in stuff from week 1. So we're sort of flirting with the line about whether or not you need to withdraw from Summer Academy. So you're going to be needing to have those conversations with Mr. Scott and I this week. Don't let that blindside you. But if you're missing assignments, and if a part of you is just like, is she talking about me? I might be. I just might be. I love you. You're not in trouble, but we need to get our stuff done. I know that there's so much discomfort in distance learning. I trying to imagine what I would have been like in high school doing something like this. And I feel like I would have just not been the best, because it's very difficult for me to embrace things that are not relational. And so I want you all to know that I truly recognize and applaud those of you who are really getting outside of your comfort zones and embracing this learning experience. I really do think that you're going to be better for it. And I know, even as someone who teaches at Harding, like college faculty, they are preparing us for the fall. I have to be prepared to teach face-to-face. I also have to be prepared to teach online. So there is a chance that we're going to have to continue to do things this way. And I know that it's hard, but it really may be necessary. And we are all capable of doing really hard things. We just have to do it together, and that requires communication. And the far majority of you have been rock stars at that. And if you're finding that that's a struggle for you, let me know, truly. I know it's a really, really busy time, but we're capable of having these conversations. And they're conversations about Summer Academy and how things are going right now are really important. I know a couple of you are worried about things far off in the future. We want to have those conversations too, but some of those maybe we're just going to wait because we're just trying to get on Summer Academy. In terms of Summer Academy, last week we sent out a survey about part 2, those 2 weeks in July. The far majority of you have answered that survey, and the far majority of you are sticking with us, which I absolutely love. But again, there's a handful of you who haven't finished that survey. So I sent out that survey last week, and Mrs. Linnell sent out a follow-up email. But we need to start making those plans. So please answer that. And if you're like, oh dang, did I fill out that Survey Monkey? There were several questions on it about part 2 of Summer Academy. So if you remember typing in some dates, you did it. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, you probably didn't, and you might need to go look that up. Our Zoom tonight is loom weaving. I was going to show you a little example, but LOL, it's not on my desk anymore. But I think it'll be fun. I've never done this one. It's the first of our make-do evenings together that I myself haven't done either. So I'm going to be learning right alongside you, which I'm actually really excited about. In terms of our habit trackers, some of you have shared your successes with me, and I absolutely love that. For those of you who have consistently now for 2 weeks been able to do your daily disciplines and habits, I hope that you're seeing the rewards from that. And I really hope that you're seeing just the sense of accomplishment. At least for me, when things can feel really overwhelming and stressful, I really love control. So when things are really overwhelming and there are such big things in my life that I cannot control, like a global pandemic, or like systemic injustice and racial tensions and things that deeply concern me and affect my day-to-day life, but I don't have too much control over, I like knowing that there are little things in my world that I can do every day that help me mentally feel like I'm doing something. So these daily disciplines, they're important, and they're going to become more and more important the older you get, trust me. Babies really like routine, but so do adults. And that's what you are all becoming, adults. Ha! Isn't that wild? It's wild to me. Yeah. Speaking of also wild to me, the faces. You guys now have 6 of these. And I kind of want to write my own little story and have like little things. I might do that as like a prize for the end. I'll show you this face because I think it's funny. But I wanna be wildly amused. So please send me your fun face contest entries. I really love laughing. It's one of my favorite things to do. I also like the serious sentimental posts. Like if you write something very inspirational with this face, please do it. But I've enjoyed getting the prizes, and from what I can tell, the people who have received the prizes have also enjoyed them. And of course you can get prizes playing bingo on Thursday night, which a lot of you have been doing, and I really love that. But Friday at noon is your deadline for the Fun Face contest. Anyway, I love you guys, and I hope you enjoy science this week. And it's Monday, and I miss you.